94-degree day in Philadelphia. 65,000 a capacity crowd at Veterans Stadium for the Miami Dolphins and the Philadelphia Eagles. For the first time in 4 weeks, Dan Marino back in uniform, making it back from the broken right ankle. He is listed as the emergency third quarterback, but could be waiting in the wings for a fourth quarter appearance. But Craig Erickson will start for the third straight game in a matchup with Ty Detmer playing for the injured Rodney Peete. This is a meeting of two teams gunning for their fifth win of the season. Hi, everybody. I'm Marv along with Sam Wyche. And for Craig Erickson, a very impressive performance in the win over the Bills in Buffalo last Sunday. And Sam, he appears to be much more comfortable with the offense.
Not only with the offense, Marv, but I think with just taking the snap from center a couple of weeks ago in a downpour in Miami against Seattle, he fumbled 3 balls from center. But this team wants to run the ball, high percentage passing with Craig Erickson, who can do it. And as Jimmy Johnson pointed out to us last week and this week, punting the ball isn't all bad. Just no turnovers from this offense.
And for the Eagles, Ty Detmer will make his second straight start. Defense did it last week against the Giants, but the Eagles would certainly like to accelerate the offense.
The Eagles haven't thrown a touchdown pass in 3 ball games, and with the 6-foot-tall Ty Detmer at quarterback and his timed quick throws, some of them 3-step drops, he's going to have to be careful of those outstretched arms of the defensive line of the Miami Dolphins, which average just under 6'5".
All right, so it's the Eagles and the Dolphins coming up. We'll be back with the opening kickoff from the Vet in Philadelphia in a moment. Well, the Eagles have won the toss, and they will receive. The Eagles coming off the win over the Giants, 19-10 last week at the Meadowlands. They have Derek Witherspoon and Mark Say back awaiting the kick from Joe Nedney. Here's Nedney, the first-year man from San Jose State, who has been doing well with kickoffs. And Witherspoon will stay right there. So they'll bring it out to the 20-yard line, and here comes Ty Detmer in his 5th year out of Brigham Young, playing for Rodney Peete, who is out for the season. A look at the offensive line, and we'll see some shuffling. We probably will see the massive rookie first-round draft pick Jermaine Mayberry get in today. Richard Cooper has been struggling the last couple of games. Detmer the quarterback, Ricky Waters, Kevin Turner are the running backs. Waters last week against the Giants ran for 110 yards on 27 carries. And of course, Irving Fryer, the one-time Miami Dolphin. And Detmer throwing on first down and completes a short pickup. Zach Thomas and Lewis Oliver making the stop. Stubbs, Gardner, Bowens, and Burton on the front line for Miami. Zach Thomas, who had another outstanding game last week against Buffalo, is in the middle. Buckley tied for the NFL lead with 5 interceptions. And Sean Wooden has replaced Gene Atkins at free safety. 2nd down and 5. And the pass intended for Chris T. Jones. We were talking with Kevin Turner after practice on Friday, and penalty marker is down, and he was telling us that usually Ricky Waters does well when they get the ball to him early, get him involved in the early going.
They want him to carry the ball early because he has more confidence in his blocking when he has early success. Let's see the penalty.
Illegal hands to the face mask, holding on the face mask by the offense, number 77. 10-yard penalty, repeat 2nd down.
Well, that's the right tackle, Richard Cooper, as we mentioned. He has been having problems the last 2 ball games. Ricky Waters, who is averaging 4.5 yards per carry.
You know, Marv, he is 3rd in the NFL in first quarter rushing. So they get him the ball early. They know it's important for him to have early success.
It is a 2nd and 15 back at the 15-yard line. And this is Waters finding the hole, cross midfield, and taken down inside the 40 by Terrell Buckley.
And that's what you call early success, a 46-yard run. And he started to the left. The hole broke open on the backside. He just cut back, and then it was a foot race. Terrell Buckley a little faster and had the angle on him. Straight handoff coming off the left side right here. Eyes open, head up. Changes the ball over to the right side. You know, the ball carrier always wants the majority of the ball of the would-be tacklers coming at the side of the body that does not have the ball. Reduces the number of fumbles.
46-yard run is long for the season. 56. Detmer's pass. Touchdown, Eagles. Irving Fryer.
Marv, it'll go down as a beautiful catch, but I don't think he was throwing to Irving Fryer.
The one-time Miami Dolphin with his second touchdown of the season.
Ty Detmer's looking to the right, little pump fake, and then he had to go to his alternate receiver. Now you're going to see two receivers down here. I think he was probably throwing the ball down the field to number 30, Charlie Garner, down the sideline, and Irving Fryer came in for another stab.
And the point after by Gary Anderson, capping off 3 plays for 80 yards. So the Eagles, with their first touchdown pass, the last 3 games they had gone 14 quarters without one.
NFL on NBC is brought to you by Acura, who invites you to test drive the new flagship of Acura, the RL. By Transamerica, the power of the pyramid is working for you. By Aptiva, the extraordinary home computer from IBM. And by Brewery Fresh Budweiser, who reminds you fresh beer tastes better.
Well, the Philadelphia Eagles striking quickly. Ty Detmer's first touchdown pass of the season. And Anderson's kickoff played by McPhail. Jarris McPhail, a rookie from East Carolina, running it back for 17 yards. Kickoff coverage by the Eagles has been a problem throughout the season.
Irving Fryer making that catch. And here you see right in the end zone there, Charlie Garner is running down the sideline. And I really believe, and we won't know until the press conference after the ball game, who he was throwing to. And then he's going to say he threw the ball to Irving Fryer all the way.
And for Ty Detmer, the longest completion of his NFL career, a 38-yard pass play. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar gets the call, and a flag is thrown. James Willis, Michael Zordich make the stop. And the holding call against Miami. Let's check out the Dolphin offense up front. Richmond Webb, Keith Sims, Tim Ruddy, Chris Gray, James Brown. 2 All-Pros on the left side. The quarterback is Craig Erickson. The running backs, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who has been quiet as of late, and fellow rookie Stanley Pritchett. Randall Hill, who has been a favorite receiver of his University of Miami teammate Craig Erickson. O.J. McDuffie and Troy Drayton, the tight end, who has emerged as the starter, his second straight start, side after the departure of Keith Byers. 2 minutes gone by. Eagles 7, Dolphins nothing. Off the screen, Abdul-Jabbar could not hold on. Now look at the Eagle defensive alignment. Up front, Fuller, Harmon, Hall, and Mamula. Fuller with 6 sacks, 2 last week. Mamula, who had been quiet, 2.5 sacks last week against the Giants. The middle linebacker, James Willis, leading the Eagles in tackles. William Thomas had a terrific game last week, NFC Defensive Player of the Week. And Troy Vincent, the one-time Miami Dolphin, a strong secondary for the Eagles. It is a 2nd down and 20. And Erickson pass caught by the tight end Drayton, but it is a short pickup, and he's run out by the outside linebacker William Thomas. Craig Erickson telling us yesterday that although he's a guy who certainly is crammed and is a fast learner, as you know from your days with him at Tampa Bay. He has had some problems learning the offense.
Well, they were on the field the other day. Troy Drayton and then Fred Barnett stepped in, who hasn't been in the lineup this year. And a play was called by Gary Stevens set a play in, and they asked Craig Erickson, what do I do? And he started telling them. Finally, he looked at himself and looked at them and said, I don't know what to do. But he is so far ahead of where he was 2 weeks ago that we're going to see a different Craig Erickson today.
3rd down and 13. Erickson getting the time, but could not find anyone. And now throwing on the run. The Dolphins looking for interference on Vincent for the coverage on Miller, but there's no call. Scott Miller, 6-year man from UCLA, tried to make the adjustment.
Unfortunately, Craig Erickson could have run for the first down, and he is trying to make a big play right here. You see that they're just at the very last minute. Troy Vincent turns his head around. That avoided the interference possibility.
So John Kidd has come on to punt from his 10. Mark Say is back. And a beauty by Kidd. Here's Say. With running room and tripped up at midfield. Mark Say was on the verge of breaking one. A 50-yard punt, 26-yard return. The Eagles back to the offense. You're watching the NFL on NBC.
Here's Mark Say catching the punt just moments ago. The return to his left. And we watch Adam Walker gets away with a clip right down here in the corner. You're going to see it right there. Right in the back. A week ago, the New York Giants got away with one as Amani Toomer ran one back 65 yards for a touchdown.
And that is special teams coach Danny Smith, who has been under fire as of late for the Eagles' kickoff and punt team deficiencies. Here is Denver throwing deep again, and once again looking for Irving Fryer. Ray Rhodes said after the game against the Giants last week that Danny Smith must be held accountable. But he made it clear he has no intention of firing Smith. Ray came up with the old "it was blown out of proportion" statement. Now, have you used that one also?
I use it quite often myself, but it was really in response to a question. Someone asked him at a press conference about accountability about Danny Smith, and he was responding to a question. He wasn't bringing up a special point to be made.
Danny Smith coaching the Eagles special teams. This is Waters on a short pickup. 7-0. The Philadelphia Eagles with the lead. 11:25 remaining in this first quarter. Shane Burton, Zach Thomas making the stop on that first series for the Dolphins defensively. Jimmy Johnson starting Daniel Stubbs and Shane Burton. In fact, Stubbs on the left side. And now Trace Armstrong, who had a big game last week against Buffalo, is back on the field. Some questions about Trace Armstrong. 0 tackles first 3 games, and then came on strong against the Bills with a couple of sacks. Waters on the reception, short of the first down by about a yard.
Ray Rhodes thinks that Ty Detmer has a special knack for going to the alternate receiver. He only looks downfield in his retreat. As he's dropping back, that time a 5-step drop, he's looking to see if anything's going to develop downfield. If those linebackers of the Miami Dolphins turn and run, Ray Rhodes says that this man right here, Ty Detmer, lays the ball off and has excellent timing as to when to do it and when to throw that ball away. It looks like on 4th down, they're going for it.
It is a 4th and 1 at the Miami 40. Waters. And it appears he picked it up. Stopped by Chris Singleton. Ricky Waters.
Going to be close, Marv. That one's probably going to get a measure. They went right at Zach Thomas, the #1 tackler with 77 tackles this year for Miami on 4th and 1.
Ray Rhodes turning 46 years of age today. Says his birthday is the last thing he's thinking about. He said if he could, he'd put his birthday off until August. I've often felt the same way, Sam.
Well, yeah,
you could kind of pick the date you'd like, you know?
I think it's interesting that you put your 46th birthday off now for several years.
Oh, absolutely. It is a first down for the Eagles.
Gutsy call by Ray Rhodes. Just straight up the middle, lead blocker. Kevin Turner is the most important guy on this play right here. He's got to try to put his helmet right on Zach Thomas. Gets him down enough. A nice run by Ricky Waters.
Eagles first down at the Dolphin 39-yard line. Now to the other side. Waters breaking tackles and has a first down. Lewis Oliver finally able to wrestle him to the ground. A 16-yard advance, and Waters 4 carries for 66 yards.
They wanted to get him started fast, and they're certainly doing that. Excellent blocking up front, but this guy has unusual burst. It's right there in the hole. You saw him accelerate, get in and protect that football. He's got that right hand all the way over the end of the football, the rest of the ball cradled against his body.
First down at the Miami 23-yard line. Fryer left, Jones to the other side, and this time Waters is tripped up. The right corner, Calvin Jackson, able to make the stop. Well, Ricky Waters last season had a career year. He ran for 1,273 yards. This year, 3 100-yard rushing games. Through 6 games, he's run for 576 yards. He's averaging just under 100 yards per game.
At 129 carries coming into this game, the next most used running back was Charlie Waters, only 20 carries.
Second down and 7. And Detmer completing. Once again, it's Irving Fryer. Called down by Zach Thomas.
Irving Fryer is coming from his right to his left. Interesting enough, Ty Detmer is taking deep drops, getting away from the outstretched hands of that defensive line of the Miami Dolphins. I think Miami wanted to try to knock down some of the quick throws of Ty Detmer. He's not making those quick throws. He's going to secondary receivers a lot, and when he's going to his primary receiver, it's a full drop.
Another first down for the Eagles down at the 12. Detmer 4-5, 58 yards. Now back to the ground. Waters breaking tackles inside the 5-yard line. They have had difficulty bringing Ricky Waters down. Wooden and Oliver were able to combine to stop him inside the 5. So that's 77 yards on 6 carries for Waters.
And that was a priority for Kevin Turner coming into this ball game. A fast start for Ricky Waters so that his confidence was built in the offensive line, blocking that defensive line and linebackers of the Miami Dolphins, in particular Zach Thomas.
Second down and 2 at the 4. You see the movement in the line, and Waters is brought down back behind the line by Trace Armstrong. Let's check out the flags. The referee is Ed Hockley. It is against Miami.
On almost every snap leading up to that one, let's hear the call here from Ed.
Offsides by the defense, left tackle. Half the distance to the goal, repeat second down.
You know, Jimmy Johnson's watching what we're watching, and on almost every snap in the last drive and in this drive, the snap count has been on a rhythmic, looks like about a 2 count, same count. Suddenly he went on a different count, a longer count, and drew the penalty. And as a coach, there's not a thing you can do except fold your arms and say, men, watch the ball. Move on the ball, not on the voice of the quarterback. You know, the quarterback will throw it up 1 octave. He'll go, hut, hut. And the voice will throw up, and it's amazing how much of a pull that has on your reflexes.
It is a 2nd and 1 down at the 2-yard line. Fryer peeling off. And Waters battling his way. The Philadelphia Eagles off to the fast start against a Miami Dolphin team that came up with an enormous victory last week. Bouncing back from the loss to Seattle. They sacked Jim Kelly 7 times, 3 interceptions, and winning up in Buffalo. Jimmy Johnson so ecstatic after the game, he gave every player and coach a game ball for the effort. Jimmy Johnson saying the Dolphins had to overcome the thought that they could not win without Marino. Well, today Dan Marino is the emergency 3rd quarterback. But the Eagles getting to it early offensively. 10th play of the drive. They did pick up the first down. It's a 1st and goal at the 1. Detmer throwing. Touchdown again, Irving Fryer.
A big confidence boost for Ty Detmer. These first two drives where he has been almost letter perfect in his throwing, but also in his ball handling with the running game. You know, when you got a new quarterback, and he's going to be your quarterback the rest of the year, these kind of games right here can set you up for victories down the road, not just this afternoon. Of course, this game's long from being over, but an early 13-0 lead.
Ty Detmer throwing his first 2 touchdown passes of the season. Remember, coming in, the Eagles had not thrown one the last 3 games. That was 14 quarters back. The previous TD pass prior to today, Rodney Peete against Detroit, September 15th. Rodney Peete on the left, Ty Detmer on the right side. Ty feeling a little bit better about things after throwing his second touchdown to Irving Fryer. And again, a short kickoff. Irving spikes. McPhail providing the blocking, and Spikes is run out at the 33-yard line. It's a 24-yard return. Mark Woodard forced him out.
Ty Detmer's touchdown pass to Irving Fryer. You know, you can't throw down the field very far. You've got a 10-yard end zone to worry about. You've got to throw to the flats. And generally, because of the threat of the run, you get the edge on him. Jimmy Johnson is making sure that this team understands you're still in the first quarter. You're still in it. You got to keep your spirit up. Just get that touchdown and get yourself rolling.
But the Eagles pumped up that last touchdown drive, 10 plays, 49 yards. They had the ball 5 minutes and 46 seconds. And Kareem Abdul-Jabbar able to find the hole. Ray Farmer, Michael Zordich combined to make the stop. Abdul-Jabbar carrying for the first time. He has had his difficulties recently. Last week, 37 yards, 25 carries. A reminder, next Saturday, 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time. It's the Breeders' Cup live from Toronto, Canada. The richest day in racing, the 13th running of the Breeders' Cup. Next Saturday, 1:30 p.m. Eastern, right here on NBC. Second down and 4 at the 40-yard line. Erickson able to stand in, couldn't find anybody, and then just throws it away. The intended receiver, O.J. McDuffie, had pulled up at about the 40-yard line, covered by Troy Vincent.
That's the second time, though, that Craig Erickson had a chance to run for first down. It was second down and about 4 yards, or a long 3. He could have made that one and looked from up here, but he decided to go deep, and, of course, the receiver broke it off short. Craig Erickson dropped straight back, trying to see the whole field, looking to his left. Just a 3-step drop. Now as he moves to the right, you see the open field. Just take it. You need 3.5 yards. Get that first down.
Jarris McPhail, the rookie from East Carolina, has been a third down specialist. He is in there on this 3rd and 4. Erickson, bullet pass for the first down, combining with O.J. McDuffie. William Thomas, Michael Zordich combined to make the stop. It is a 17-yard advance.
Now, last week, Philadelphia had 8 sacks against the New York Giants. Craig Erickson is having an awful lot of time so far in this ball game, and you see the slide to get open. The coverage by Zordich was good inside initially, but receivers are taught, as you look back, if you can't see the quarterback, if somebody's standing between you and the quarterback, an eagle, slide to the open area and catch the ball.
Miami 1st and 10 at the Philadelphia 43. Once again, Erickson can't find anyone. Excellent coverage by the Eagles. And the pass intended for the fullback, Stanley Pritchett, who is covered by middle linebacker James Willis.
That time, Craig Erickson was flushed out of the pocket, but up until that point, he's had to move within the pocket, which is part of being a quarterback, finding the throwing lanes and looking downfield, but he hasn't really been flushed out of the pocket. And Jimmy Johnson is looking for the interference called down the field, is what he's unhappy about, because as the quarterback rolled to his right and tried to throw back across the middle, it did look like the defender was sliding down the body of the would-be receiver. Of course, coaches like to plead their case early in the ball game so that they can kind of get some of the energy out of their system as well.
You can relate to that on a first-hand basis. Here's Erickson, this time a quick release. He threw into a crowd and was able to complete. The tight end Troy Drayton on the reception, met by Farmer and Willis, but short of a first down. We're just under 4 minutes remaining in this opening quarter. Eagles 14 and the Dolphins nothing. 2 touchdown passes from Detmer to the one-time Dolphin Fryer. Marv Albert, Sam Wyche from Veterans Stadium. Overcast day. The rain has stayed away today. And Fred Barnett has checked in for the first time. Well, that pass hit the defender in the back. Larry Wilburn will get credit for a pass defense. It was intended for O.J. McDuffie as Erickson hits.
For the
Erickson
first time,
hits the dirt.
Yeah, he was hit early on that one. Nobody had time to see anything develop. Not only was Mamula, but you see William Thomas coming in there, pulling off early. And more defenders, as they rush the quarterback, are learning that if you will just pull off, even if you have incidental contact, that official understands you're not trying to personally foul the quarterback. They let you get away with it.
It is a 4th down and 6 at the 39-yard line, and now Miami calls for time. 3:23 remaining in this first quarter. We'll be right back. Miami Dolphins running back coach Kippy Brown, who was with you in Tampa Bay last season, despite that, is back in the National Football League.
I stole him from the University of Tennessee, where he's the assistant head coach. A good one. Deion's better half. 4th
down and 6 at the 39. And Erickson completes to McPhail and has a first down. Juris McPhail run down by Zordich, and Dawkins picked up 12.
McPhail is the 3rd down back, and really as time moves on, when this offense develops and as years pass by, we're going to see this guy become more and more a part of the Miami Dolphins. He may be as good as the whole bunch of running backs, and they've got some good ones. The 2 rookies, of course, in Pritchett and Abdul-Jabbar. And Jimmy Johnson, there's a square-jawed look at it. We'll make things happen, get back in this game.
First down at the 27-yard line. Abdul-Jabbar battling for yardage. Michael Zordich, Hollis Thomas combined to make that stop.
You know, Marv, Kippy Brown, you can see him giving the call now, talking through the walkie-talkie to Craig Erickson. Gary Stevens is the coordinator calling the plays, talks through Kippy. Here's Gary Stevens right here. He tells Kippy what to say, and he will give Kippy will tell not only the formation, but the play. A lot of trouble with that headset, though, over a lot of teams are having it this year.
2nd down and 5. Erickson again throws short range, completing with McDuffie. Willis and Zordich are right there. 2nd catch by O.J. McDuffie. It'll be a 3rd and about a yard down at the 17-yard line. Dan Marino, who is listed today as the emergency 3rd quarterback.
The good quarterbacks will stand right next to that call. They want to know what every play that's going in, so they can live it before it's actually run on the field.
This the 10th play of the drive. McDuffie flanked to the left side. It's back to the goal. Oh, what a stop on Abdul-Jabbar. James Willis able to cut him off.
Middle linebacker. This is a linebacker that was with Ray Rhodes at Green Bay. He was on injury reserve there, was waived a year ago. They picked him up. Very strong. They were telling me the other day that he's not as sudden as they would like at times, but right here, absolutely sudden enough for Abdul-Jabbar.
Not as sudden.
Suddenly he's sudden.
And Joe Nedney on to attempt a 37-yard field goal, only 6 of 11 for the season. This one is good. Joe Nedney, the man to replace Peter Stoyanovich. He's had some adventurous days. Missed last week from 33, although battling through a stiff win, but hits from 37. And the Eagles now lead the Dolphins 14-3 with 41 seconds remaining in this first quarter.
You know, when a quarterback comes off the field, if you've got a veteran like Dan Marino, he'll be right there, not only just encouraging, but he's saying something meaningful right here. I guarantee he's talking about either a coverage or a read that he's seeing from the sideline, and then Kippy Brown follows it up from comments that he sees, as well as what Gary Stevens is seeing upstairs. The best view of all of them is sitting upstairs in that booth. I can tell you from being up here in this booth and being down there, there is no comparison. Half the time you can't see down there because the people standing dead in front of you.
I always wonder also when you see coaches arguing about calls at the other end of the field, what's your point of reference? Just what the heck, get in the argument just to win one the next time?
Well, I tell you what happens is one of these guys up here saw something, and he'll come down and he'll prime the coach down the field. And Gary Stevens now already talking to Marino, getting things ready for the next drive.
Again, Nedney with the powerful kick. That has been his strong point.
That's why he's on this football team. He has not been as accurate as you need to be in the NFL as a place kicker, even though inside the 30-yard line he's perfect, but outside the 30-yard kicks, rather. But he kicks that ball in the end zone, and they lead the league in kicks going to or in the end zone in the National Football League. Some of them have been brought out, but this guy can get up deep.
And Sam, that is the Dolphins' 10th touchback of the season. That's a very impressive mark. So they'll start out at the 20-yard line with 35 seconds remaining in this opening quarter. Eagles with a 14-3 lead. Charlie Garner in there now for Philadelphia. And gets the call. Ray Rhodes telling us the other day that he's hoping that Charlie would get more than the 2 touches that he got last week against the Giants. They would like to get him in, but it's tough when Ricky Waters is running as well as he is.
I had a chance to peek at their practice on Friday, and standing there next to Ray Rhodes, he thinks that Charlie Garner can be as good as any of the running backs in the league. He's got pure speed. He's got good hands. He's a willing blocker. But when you've got a guy playing like Ricky Waters is, you just can't. There's only one football. You can't get them all the ball.
1 quarter complete. The Eagles 14, the Dolphins 3. Well, you can't do any better than this. Philadelphia Eagles in their previous 2 possessions, 2 touchdown passes, Detmer to Fryer.
The touchdowns are the main thing. The fact that Ty Detmer had a chance to throw the touchdowns just adds to it.
2nd and 5 as this second quarter gets underway. The intended receiver, Chris T. Jones, second-year player out of Miami, a native of West Palm Beach. In fact, a Dolphin fan growing up in that area, has not been able to get into it recently. What's been his problem?
Ray Rhodes is wondering that one himself. A year ago, he wanted him in there. He should be running an out pattern. That's where the ball's going to be thrown. But he just runs straight up the field. In fact, he doesn't look like he's part of the play. That's why he didn't play last year. And that's why they're still wondering when he's going to be ready this year.
And Ty Detmer did not look pleased about the completion of that route. Now Detmer able to complete right at the marker to Mark Say, who was covered by Sean Hill. Let's see where they spot it for Say, his first catch of the day.
You know, getting back to Chris T. Jones, it doesn't take long for a quarterback to lose confidence in his receiver if he keeps running the wrong route, or maybe not working to get open, running half-hearted routes. And that's where Chris T. Jones has got to come up to speed, because this guy, his nickname is Stretch. He's not pure speed. He runs just a little better than a 4.6 40, but he can go get the ball in a one-on-one situation. They need this guy to come on.
And the Eagles just shy of the first down, so the punting unit will check in as the first punt of the day for Tom Hutton. Hutton in his second year out of Tennessee, coming off an excellent rookie campaign. And O.J. McDuffie is back. Hutton looking to angle it. And here's McDuffie. And runs it out and is walloped as he crossed the 25-yard line. A flag is thrown. James Fuller making the play. A 55-yard punt and a 14-yard return.
They had this set up. They were trying to return the ball to the left. They had it set up but couldn't get him underway. Just watching the reaction of the Miami Dolphins and the reaction of Ray Rhodes, it looks like this one's going against the Eagles. You know, part of I think that they should start talking about keeping the players away from the officials during these conferences, because they will come out and they'll, of course, make the gesture and indicate to the crowd ahead of the formal indication of what happened. But at the same time, the officials don't need their presence. They need their space right there so they can evaluate what happened, listen to each official explain what he saw, and then the referee will make the call. And as you can see, these guys are having one heck of a good caucus.
There were fouls by both teams on the play. Holding by the receiving team, number 40. Personal foul face mask by the kicking team, number 56. And a personal foul continuing action, unnecessary roughness by the kicking team, number 22. The penalty's offset. Replay, 4th down.
Well, the calls against James Fuller and Joe Kelly of the Eagles. Fuller called for the personal foul for the unnecessary hit out of bounds, and Irving Spikes called on the Dolphins.
Ed Hockley calling the very first one. Joe Kelly holding prior to the punt, probably, or right at the punt. And the late hit on the sideline is the one that will probably draw a little more reaction as the game goes on. This game is going to get even more competitive than it is. But anytime you have offsetting penalties, regardless of the number, you're going to go back and play the down again.
So it is a do-over, and Hutton is back to punt at his 15-yard line. It's 4th and about a yard for the Eagles. The Eagles with a 14-3 lead on the Dolphins, getting off quickly on the 2 touchdown passes from Ty Detmer to Irving Fryer. We are early in the second quarter, just a minute gone by.
Play. The fouls were post-possession. Therefore, the holding by the receiving team is declined. The personal foul face mask by the kicking team is declined by rule. The personal foul unnecessary roughness by the receiving team will be enforced from the end of the kick. Miami will retain the ball, 1st down.
So further explanation, apparently Jimmy Johnson and Ray Rhodes wanted the specifics, and it turns out it will not be a re-kick. We'll be back to further sort it out in a moment.
Jimmy Johnson is furious over the way this one has unfolded. There were offsetting penalties during the kick. You got Joe Kelly, you're going to see him hold right here. That one is called, and then down the field another penalty is called. But after the play ends, a post-possession penalty. Now watch the run. They set up the return to the left. That was not called. That was not a penalty. But coming back into play, one of the Dolphins personal fouls a Philadelphia Eagle, and so there is a 15-yard post-possession penalty after the play is over with. And Jimmy Johnson was furious during the break.
The end result, the Dolphins will start out 1st and 10 from their 17-yard line. Fred Barnett is back on the field for the second time. 14-3, Eagles leading Miami. Big hole opening up for Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, stopped by the middle linebacker James Willis.
Both teams, we know, wanted to run the ball. The Philadelphia Eagles have done a tremendous job of it so far in the first quarter. And the Miami Dolphins are staying with their game plan. They're not going to change now. They're just down 14-3. This is one of those situations where you've got to keep your poise, stay with your game plan, even though the temptation is maybe to go back and try to jump back in the game.
Now the Dolphins have a 2nd and 2 at the 25-yard line. Abdul-Jabbar on a slant, closing on that 1st down territory. Willis and Zorich make the stop.
Looks like it's enough for a 1st down. It'll be very close. You know, the other interesting thing that we noticed in the first quarter is both teams set up with their full drop with their quarterback. There weren't a lot of quick throws, trying to make sure the quarterback didn't have sack problems. Remember, the Eagles sacked the Giants 8 times. The Dolphins sacked the Bills 7 times just a week ago.
It is a 1st down for Miami. Now McDuffie to the right and Barnett to the left. Short set by Erickson, and Completes to the tight end, Troy Drayton.
Just as soon as I say they're taking full drops, they take a 3-step retreat and throw the quick one to Troy Drayton. Drayton is the newest acquisition of the Miami Dolphins, and picked up from the St. Louis Rams just a couple of weeks ago. I almost said it, but I didn't.
Little hesitation there, Sam. Yes,
but I didn't.
After Keith Byers was released, Drayton acquired from the Rams for offensive lineman Billy Milner. He's a local product out of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Originally a second-round draft pick. Picked up 8 on that last play. 2nd and 2 at the 36. Erickson stepping up and then goes sideline, incomplete. Through the hands of Abdul-Jabbar, covered by Faber.
You know, part of the technique of a quarterback is you go all the way back with your 5 or 7 steps and give the defensive line a landmark. You want them all the way back, plant. Now right here's their landmark. That's where they're going to charge. Then you step up and let the offensive tackles push the defensive ends behind you. That gives you a field of vision down the field. It also tells the offensive lineman exactly what part of the turf they've got to protect. He had time to throw the ball as he has all day.
Erickson now 6 of 12, 51 yards. Dolphins have not been able to get going offensively. Off the roll. It is picked off on a deflection. Brian Dawkins with the interception. And looked like William Thomas able to get a piece of it.
There's a little bit of a discussion. Was there interference? There is never interference after the ball is tipped. You cannot interfere with a receiver at that point. That time they moved the pocket a little bit. Rather than have the landmark right behind the center, Craig Erickson rolled to his left, tougher for a right-handed quarterback. And as you see, William Thomas reached up and tipped the ball, stayed in the air long enough for Brian Dawkins to intercept it.
And for Dawkins, his 2nd interception of the season, the rookie out of Clemson, sets up the Eagles first down at the 26-yard line. A sweep with Waters looking to cut back inside, and then his gang tackle picked up 2 on the play. Thomas and Oliver on the stop. Look at other scores. Dallas with a 17-6 lead on Atlanta. Miami will play Dallas next week. Indianapolis 3-0 over New England early 2nd quarter. Washington with a 14-0 lead coming into today. Redskins 5-1, a full game in front of the Philadelphia Eagles. Skins have won 5 straight after losing to the Eagles on opening day. 2nd down and 8 at the 24-yard line. Detmer throwing off the roll. And a battling Marseille refusing to go down. Buckley and Wooden make the stop.
You see Ty Detmer gaining more and more confidence. You were talking to Kevin Turner the other day. He said, boy, he got a little feisty in the huddle the other day. This is a mild-mannered kid right here. If you see him in street clothes, you don't think of him as a football player. But he just moved to his right, threw the ball quickly to Marseille. Marseille, by the way, playing with one kidney. Played for the San Diego Chargers before he came out here with the Eagles. Quick throw, good yardage, first down.
Sam with a little colorful bit of information here as a by the way.
Yeah, by the way, one kidney.
Yes. And here's Waters. On first down, Waters gets to the 11, stopped by the rookie Darrell Gardner.
The interception just a second ago, William Thomas reaches up and touches the ball, repaying a little bit of the favor that Mamula gave him when he picked up the fumble a week ago against the Giants and ran in for a touchdown. He tips it in the air, and Brian Dawkins is right there. There is no interference, even though Dawkins was touching the receiver, because the ball was tipped.
2nd down and 7 at the 11. The running backs Waters and Turner. And Detmer with the handoff to Waters. He's able to work his way inside the 10-yard line. Kevin Turner, yes, telling us the other day that Ty Detmer, usually very low-key guy, got a bit feisty, as you mentioned, in the huddle last week in the game against the Giants. He was upset and let his teammates know it, which stunned everyone. We asked Kevin, was there a little off-color language? Yeah. He would not reveal that.
I think he said that a dadgummit slipped out.
Oh, no.
Yes, once again.
Blows the image.
We have a sports flash.
A 3rd down and 4 at the 8. And Detmer throwing, end zone, it is intercepted. Sean Wooden, the free safety, the rookie from Notre Dame, stopping the Eagle drive, and the pass once again in the end zone intended for Irving Fryer.
The NFL on NBC is brought to you by Genuine Chevrolet, the cars more Americans trust. By American Express. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, American Express helps you do more. By the Nicoderm CQ patch, you bring a commitment. Nicoderm CQ brings the rest. And by Stanley. Since 1843, Stanley has been helping people do things right.
Well, the Dolphins take over on the interception by Philadelphia native Sean Wooden, the man who took over after Gene Atkins was released following the Seattle game. So Wooden is back as the starter at free safety. He began preseason as the starter and then injured his neck. That pass was intended for Irving Fryer. Oh, Ty Detmer not able to connect with Fryer, and the Dolphins take over at their 20-yard line. Abdul-Jabbar once again having difficulty accelerating. Ronnie Dixon, the 3-year man from Cincinnati, getting the wraps on Abdul-Jabbar.
And Ray Rhodes has a way of keeping Ronnie Dixon alive. You know, he was out of football in 1994, and he was driving a truck in North Carolina, and every time he has a bad day at practice or an off game, he'll find a little bottle of No-Dos in front of his locker.
Yes.
Ray Rhodes reminding him how tough it is to stay awake with those over, cross-country hauls.
Now that is motivation.
That's motivation. Both coaches are very good at that.
Second down and 13 from the 17-yard line. A deep drop now by Erickson, and then he lost his balance. He slipped, but Red Hall will receive credit for the sack.
Red Hall is an interesting story. He missed 13 games last year with blood clots in his lung. As Craig Erickson sets up, his footing is going to give way. The first time we've seen any problem with the footing, even though we had a lot of rain here yesterday. He's really just moving around, and his foot slips out from under him. I don't think that had anything to do with the surface. As he goes down, though, Red Hall is going to get credit for another sack.
3.5 for the season for Hall. And this crowd urging the defensive unit on. It's a third down and 20. Back at the 10. Erickson stepping up. Erickson picking one, and he's able to complete out across the 40-yard line. O.J. McDuffie. A 36-yard pass play, and that gets the Dolphins out of the hole.
O.J. McDuffie over the middle. You know, when that ball's in the air that long, there are a lot of defenders that can get to it. Got to keep your concentration. You're going to see him come across the middle, and the defenders are all in zone. You watch, all their heads are looking back towards the quarterback. They see the ball in the air. McDuffie, though, is taking away the angle of anybody coming in and making a quick hit on him. Big play coming out of the back of the, almost backed up on that one.
That was a third down and 20, and O.J. continues his mastery on third down.
Yep.
First and 10 at the 46. Erickson stepping up again, and once again a beautiful throw. Randall Hill has the first down and some more.
I started to say, Craig, run the ball. You had two chances earlier that you could have made first downs. In that case, first down or maybe yardage. It was a first down call. But he keeps his eyes down the field. The other thing you notice with a good quarterback, he never takes his hand or his fingers off the laces. Let's watch Craig as he looks down the field and searches, a little token fake right there on the play. He's looking. Now his head and eyes are still up, but he never takes his fingers off the laces, so he's ready to throw the ball if he sees an open receiver.
And that's a 20-yard pickup, the first down at the Eagle. 32, 6:20 remaining in this first half. Now a good hole for Abdul-Jabbar. And he's hit down by Hollis Thomas and Greg Jefferson. Marv Albert with Sam Wyche at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. We come up on 6 minutes to go in this first half. The Eagles striking early. 2 touchdown passes from Detmer to the one-time Dolphin Fryer. Off to the 14-0 lead. Nedney able to connect on a 37-yard field goal, and now the Dolphins on the move following the interception by Wooden. Here's Abdul-Jabbar with a first down. Willis and Zorich combined to make the stop. Both clubs come in with records of 4-2. Both teams without their starting quarterback. Rodney Peete is out for the season. Dan Marino went down with the ankle injury, a broken right ankle. But he is back as the third emergency quarterback. Bernie Kosar is number 2. There is an outside shot. And of course, if Jimmy Johnson went to Marino, it would undoubtedly be in the 4th quarter, because otherwise the other 2 guys can't return. And again, Abdul-Jabbar off the good opening. Able to pick up yardage. Willis and Woodard combined to make the stop. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the rookie from UCLA, emerging from Jimmy Johnson's training camp doghouse. Jimmy apparently didn't like his practice habits at first. Got off to the good start. In fact, AFC Player of the Week following his performance against New England when he ran for 115 yards. But recently, things have slowed down. Certainly the absence of Marino has contributed to that. It's a 2nd down and 5 at the 16. Abdul-Jabbar picking his way, running well. Trying to get to the marker. Stopped at the 11 by the combination of Zordich and Dawkins.
This drive has the same look that the Philadelphia Eagles had in their first 2 drives. It looks like Miami is pretty much moving the ball at will. They're running the ball both sides. They're completing their passes. And when they get into that tough situation, 3rd and 20, Craig Erickson comes up with a big play to O.J. McDuffie. But Abdul-Jabbar off the right side, you just see movement by the offensive line against the Philadelphia Eagles. He doesn't really make any contact with anybody until he's well down the field. Just short. Not a bad situation, though, at the just outside the 10-yard line right here. 3rd down and inches like that. Your hope here is that you don't just make the 1st down, which leaves you with a 1st and goal at the 10 or just inside. You'd like to make 3 or 4 yards, 4 or 5 yards right here. So you've got a 1st and goal, just outside the 5-yard line. Much easier situation.
So the 9th play of the drive coming up. Robert Wilson has checked in at fullback. 3rd and inches. Quarterback sneak. And we'll have to wait and see where they place it.
Well, there goes my strategy right out the window. That's why I'm up here. Really, my point was that you don't want to start too many 1st and 10 situations at the 10-yard line, but getting the 1st down and keeping the drive alive was more important.
And the Dolphins do pick it up.
And Jimmy Johnson, I think, is showing it's not really conservative. It is just a smart game plan. Control the ball. Keep your defense off the field as much as you can. Use your running game, which is good, and keep Craig Erickson in positive situations where he doesn't have to carry the team. Punts aren't all that bad. I don't expect him to punt from here, though.
It is a 1st and 10, just outside the 10. Abdul-Jabbar trying to go wide. He's running well, though. Zordich and Dawkins making the stop. Getting back to Dan Marino, Sam, I think that Jimmy Johnson's plan, depending on how Dan felt, and the feeling is that he will have pain the next 3 or 4 weeks no matter what. Yesterday when we were talking to Jimmy, he said he wanted to have him as the number 2 quarterback. I think he would rather go into the Dallas game feeling that Marino has had some work rather than just put him in there, because he'll be ready for next week.
He'll be ready, but he gets 1/4 of the practice where he did this past week, so he's going to have some work, even though he doesn't get into this. He gets the practice time.
Well, the Eagles did a good job to close off Abdul-Jabbar. 7 rushes in a row for Miami. And even with Marino at quarterback, this was the new philosophy for the Dolphins. Jimmy Johnson looking more to the run. And certainly the case with Craig Erickson in there.
Well, I think we showed that just a moment ago when we were talking about Abdul-Jabbar's average per carry. But when Marino's in the game, the threat of the pass is much bigger than it is when you've got a different quarterback, especially when you've got a new different quarterback, a quarterback that's new to the team.
2 minutes remaining now, 1st half. When we come back, a 3rd down and 6. Well, following the interception by Sean Wooden, the Dolphins driving back the other way have had the ball for 6 minutes and 50 seconds. It's a 3rd down and 6 from just outside the 6-yard line with 2 minutes left. 1st half, Erickson looking, throwing, and it is a touchdown. Randall Hill rolling into the end zone. We had to wait for the official indication. So Randall Hill catching it inside the 1 and then able to roll his way because he was untouched. And it appears Jimmy Johnson is going for the 2-pointer.
Shotgun formation. Craig Erickson has plenty of time, as he has all day. Ball thrown low. You want to keep the ball thrown below the waist in a situation like this, so there's no chance of it being tipped. And of course, when you catch the ball and nobody touches you, can roll in for a touchdown. Let's think about this. The Dolphins intercepted in the end zone just 6.5 minutes ago, and now they drive down and score right before the half. Big turn of events.
14-9 the score. Miami is 0 for 3 in two-point conversions. Jarris McPhail is on the field. Erickson throwing, and he has it. Picks up the 2 points, combining with the tight end, Troy Drayton. So with 1:55 remaining, first half will step away. The Dolphins controlling the ball for 6 minutes and 55 seconds. 12 plays, 80 yards, capped off by the 6-yard touchdown pass play. And here's Derek Witherspoon on the return. Good coverage by Miami as he fights his way out to the 35. A 15-yard return. Tim Jacobs, Chris Singleton on the stop.
Craig Erickson finishing a 7-minute drive with a touchdown pass that put Miami back into this ball game. Randall Hill making the catch. Dan Marino seeing the action on the field right in this ball game. And of course, Jimmy Johnson immediately getting the word from upstairs, the best thing to do, go for 2 points, and they did.
And the Eagles on first down go to Ricky Waters. 1:45 and counting remaining. In this first half, it is now the Eagles with a 14-11 lead. Jimmy Johnson reacting to the touchdown. Now checking upstairs with his coaches, and obviously the decision is go for the 2.
The coaches upstairs are in a calmer state. They've got everything in front of them. They got that chart, when to go for 2 and when not to. They get the word to Jimmy.
Second down and 8. And Detmer able to connect over the middle for the first down. Chris T. Jones with his first reception, met by Zach Thomas. Eagles in the hurry-up. Clock is running. They do have their 3 timeouts remaining. Miami with 2 timeouts left as we come up on 1 minute left in the half. And again, the completion by Denver has looked sharp. Irving Fryer out at midfield, met by the right corner, Calvin Jackson for Fryer. That is his 4th catch, and a timeout has been called. Timeout taken by the Eagles. Well, coming up, the Domino's Pizza NFL on NBC halftime report. Greg Gumbel, Chris Collinsworth, Joe Gibbs, Mike Ditka will bring you all the scores and highlights of today's action around the league, plus an interview with Jerry Rice. That is all ahead at halftime. We have 55 seconds remaining in the second quarter.
They still have 2 timeouts left, the Philadelphia Eagles do. So do the Miami Dolphins. The Eagles on their last 2 drives didn't have much success. 3 plays and a punt, and then 5 plays, and then the interception, which became very important because Miami had the 15-yard penalty, gave field position to the Eagles. They drove down, then the interception in the end zone, and Miami, of course, with the 7-minute drive to score just before or just at the 2-minute mark. And now Philadelphia.
2nd and 1 as we resume. And Detmer finds Waters, and he has the first down inside the 40-yard line. The tackle by Thomas. So Ricky Waters with his 2nd catch of the day. Ray Rhodes telling us that he wanted to use Waters more frequently as a receiver out of the backfield. First down at the Dolphin 38-yard line. Detmer getting the good protection. A flag is down as Waters makes the catch again, and again he's greeted by Thomas.
When they look at the film, they're probably going to say to themselves they should have called timeout after Waters' catch just a moment ago. The holding, of course, will stop the clock.
Hands to the face by the offense, number 73. 10-yard penalty, repeat first down.
73, the right guard, Lester Holmes. 4th year out of Jackson State.
We'll get a chance to look at it. That is illegal. You can't do it. Now, if your hand goes up there and it slides around, there's a lot of contact going on, you pull it away quickly, they're not going to call it. But he left that one up there, and of course, with our stop action, he left it up there a long time.
Yes, he did.
Probably wasn't quite that long.
He will point out, not that long.
Yeah.
All right, 1st and 20. Detmer after the pump. Short.
Actually, just as he lets it go, Ricky Watters turns upfield, never sees the ball coming, ends up falling harmlessly to the ground. This is the second time we've seen a quarterback slip. We saw Craig Erickson in the last drive. Watch Ty Detmer, his back foot hits. Now, the problem, look at the angle of his lean. Quarterbacks or anybody, when you're changing direction and when you drop back, you drop straight back, plant, and change direction, come forward. You want your weight over your plant foot. He was leaning so far, the foot slipped out from under him.
It is a 2nd down and 20. Detmer's had a very fine first half, though. 10 of 14, 107 yards. And he'll add to that with the completion to Chris T. Jones, who was able to get out of bounds to stop the clock with 21 seconds remaining in the half. Well, coming up next on most of these NBC stations, game 2 of our NFL doubleheader. Most of you will see the Denver Broncos hosting the Baltimore Ravens. Others will see the Bengals and the 49ers, or the Steelers square off against the Oilers, or regional action. 21 seconds remaining in the half. 3rd down and 9 for the Eagles at the Dolphin 38-yard line. And Denver again connects with Mark Say.
Call timeout right now. Flag down. We'll stop the clock. See if the official, yeah, he's going to stop the clock and not going to call the timeout against, and roughing the passer. That's a 15-yarder at the end of the play.
Norman Hand involved along with Zach Thomas on the tackle. Say with his 3rd catch. And now Detmer comes over to find out the interpretation. Here it is.
Personal foul, roughing the passer by the defense, number 96. Helmet-to-helmet contact with the quarterback.
Well, that is one time Philadelphia Eagle defensive end Daniel Stubbs called on the penalty.
Daniel Stubbs doesn't think it's a penalty because the call was he went towards the head. He went at the head. And the quarterbacks are being protected by the referees for those reasons. They don't want him to get hurt. Ty Detmer was hit in the Dallas game. It was not goofy. He really doesn't even remember the last part of the Dallas game from a hit just like that.
He was not goofy.
Goofy or woozy. Woozy or goofy.
And a 1st down at the 12-yard line. I love when you talk technical, Sam. 13 seconds remaining in the half. And Detmer throwing for the end zone. Incomplete. Intended for Say. Defended by J.B. Brown.
If Brown doesn't get that head around, the interference call in the end zone would put the ball on the 1-yard line. And I'm not sure he got his head around in this particular instance. Here's J.B. Brown looking at the defender, at the receiver, and he goes up, never turns his head around, but apparently never touched the receiver. If he puts his hand on that receiver with his head still looking at the receiver, the official can call it. That looked like just an overthrown pass. Means no penalty anyway.
10 seconds remaining in the half. Eagles do have 2 timeouts remaining. And again, Detmer looking end zone and throwing. Touchdown! Irving Fryar again. And he beats Terrell Buckley.
And I know why Jimmy Johnson is going to be mad when this play's over with. They had a blitz on. Zach Thomas was among the blitzers, and he got hit immediately and just kind of stood there. So there was man-to-man coverage down the field with no pressure on the quarterback. The result, a touchdown. See the blitz coming. There you can see it. He gets hit, but he doesn't keep coming. He just waits. So the quarterback has plenty of time. But when you've got a blitz on, you're leaving everybody else man-to-man. The extra point is good.
So Irving Fryar, who played the past 3 years for Miami, signed with the Eagles as a free agent, has caught all 3 touchdown passes. Oh, Jimmy Johnson is upset once again. He was indicating that there should have been a holding penalty on that last play of the touchdown with Detmer connecting with Fryar.
There was a lot of time for Ty Detmer to find the open receiver, Irving Fryar, and Jimmy Johnson from the sideline, or maybe somebody upstairs, pointed out that there was holding. Let's see if we can see it right here. It looked like you could see at least the impression of it. Barrett Brooks pulled Shane Burton down right at the very end, to your left of the screen, right there. I think he has a complaint.
now the kickoff by Anderson. He bounces it, and it's picked up by one of the up men as time runs out. Backup tight end Frank Wainwright. And a little extracurricular activity. Sylvester Wright of the Eagles getting involved with O.J. Brigance, backup linebacker of the Dolphins.
Let's see if this is post-possession.
Offsetting personal fouls on both teams after the play. The half is over. The fouls are not enforced by rule. And that's the end of the first half.
So a splendid first half for Ty Detmer. 13 of 18, 143 yards, 3 touchdown passes to Irving Fryer. And at the half, it's the Eagles 21-11 over the Dolphins. Now let's go to Greg Gumbel in New York. Back at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia, Marv Albert with Sam Wyche. The Eagles over the Dolphins as we head to the second half, 21-11. Jimmy Johnson, Sam, is still upset about what he felt was a holding call on that third touchdown pass from Detmer to Fryer. This is moments ago when he came out for the second half.
Which means that they went in there at halftime and the coaches were confirming what Jimmy Johnson saw. Watch the left tackle right here, Barrett Brooks against Shane Burton. You see the left arm reach behind him. Now watch it as he pursues the quarterback, pull down. That's holding every day of the week. Classic example of it. And really should have been seen. The problem is the official, Ed Ockley, the referee, is standing to the right. And he is not able to see what takes place on the left. Marv, watch how Irving Fryer makes a move to the outside, then comes back inside. Look at Terrell Buckley jumping on the outside move. Irving Fryer wide open for the touchdown just before the half. And that makes it a 10-point ball game, 21-11. But Jimmy Johnson legitimately has reason to be upset.
Terrell Buckley, the man who replaced Troy Vincent, who is now the starting left corner for the Philadelphia Eagles. And the second half is underway. The return by Irving Spikes. Oh, he took a pop. As he crossed the 25, he was hit by Sylvester Wright. He's played well on special teams. A 20-yard return by Spikes. And we'll check out the Coors Light halftime statistics. The Eagles with 13 first downs. Done a nice job on the ground thanks to Ricky Waters, 94 yards in all, 237 total yards as Ty Detmer has had an outstanding first half. 13 of 18, 143 yards, 3 touchdowns, picked off once. And Craig Erickson, 9 of 16, 116 yards, 1 touchdown and an intercept. They start out from the 28-yard line, and it's to the ground for Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the rookie out of UCLA, was met by Andy Harmon and Mark Woodard.
Mark Woodard is usually the third down linebacker, starting the second half, though, at outside linebacker for the Philadelphia Eagles, and in place of Ray Farmer. Remember, Ray Farmer came to this team as a strong safety out of Duke and was moved in as a linebacker in the draft.
2nd and 9, and Abdul-Jabbar tried the other side, could not make the turn, met by Thomas and Willis. Well, the MetLife blimp is today co-piloted by a good friend of yours, Sam, Snoopy, dressed as the famous World War I flying ace. And today, it says right here, rather than searching the skies for the Red Baron, Snoopy is enjoying NFL football action here in the city of brotherly love. It's a 3rd and 13 at the 25. Fred Barnett is in now for the Dolphins. Out of the shotgun. Look out. Erickson avoiding the blitz. Completing to McPhail. And Jarris McPhail puts the speed on and races inside the 45-yard line. He's tackled by the free safety, Brian Dawkins, and that's a 30-yard pass play.
Jarris McPhail is their third down back, and in the opinion of a lot of people around the Dolphin offices there, he may be as good as the whole bunch of running backs that they've got. Good job right here by Craig Erickson. He knew he was going to get hit. There was no more time to let anything develop downfield. Put the ball to McPhail, who I think probably sensed that this one had to be hurried because of the rush.
A 5th-round draft pick from East Carolina, Jarris McPhail. Here's Erickson on first down, and now now he is taken down by Andy Harmon. Second sack of the day by the Eagles. The other was a cover sack by Red Hall, and Harmon with his first sack of the season.
He hurt his knee in the third preseason game this year and was out, had arthroscopic surgery, missed the first 5 ball games. Token fake. Craig Erickson makes a mistake. Remember, we talked about step up into the pocket. Don't step back. That's where the tackles, the offensive linemen are pushing the pass rush behind the quarterback. When you back up, you run into sack problems, and Andy Harmon was happy about it.
Now, this is a guy who had 11 sacks last season, an unheralded player. You mentioned the arthroscopic knee surgery. He says he's still working the rust off. Again, the good rush. And the pass incomplete. Intended for the backup tight end, Frank Wainwright, covered by strong safety, Michael Zordich. It brings up a 3rd and 20.
They blitzed James Willis, the middle linebacker that time. Jimmy Johnson wants to see if there was a roughing the passer that should have been called. Number 50, James Willis. No problem right there. He's coming in. There was no head-to-head contact. Just a clean tackle. Now, the referee, Ed Hockley's going to make sure, though, that nothing further happens.
Miami on 3rd and long today, converting on 4 of 6. Jarris McPhail. And once again, the Dolphins hoping that he could make more out of it. This time could not. He was met by Zordich and Dawkins. And the punting unit will come on. John Kidd will punt for only the 2nd time this afternoon. 3 minutes have gone by in the 3rd quarter. The Eagles 21 and the Dolphins 11. 3 touchdown passes from Ty Detmer to Irving Fryer. That's Mark Say back at his 10-yard line. Mark Say has spent the last 3 years with the San Diego Chargers. Line drive handled by Say. And he's taken down at about the 18-yard line. A 36-yard punt, 6-yard return. Izzo and Brigance combined on that stop.
NFL on NBC is brought to you by Chrysler and the cab-forward sedans of Chrysler. What's new in your world? By UPS, the official package delivery company of the NFL. By the new Coors Light wide mouth can. Tap the Rockies with a smoother pour. And by Subway. What a sandwich.
It is an overcast 55-degree day in Philadelphia. Dan Marino taking off the warm-up jacket. I don't know, Sam, any significance to that?
Well, it's still chilly, so that's part of it. I don't think he would come into this ballgame until the 4th quarter for reasons we mentioned earlier. But this is the kind of situation that might tempt Jimmy Johnson to do it.
He is listed as the 3rd or the emergency quarterback. Waters finding a hole on the left side, stopped by Lewis Oliver as the Eagles go back to the offense. They are leading the Dolphins 21-11 with 11 and a half remaining in this 3rd quarter.
And the drive tried with 3 touchdowns in that first half, a punt, and of course the big interception that kept Miami in it. Otherwise, this one could be a wide margin.
Yes, free safety Sean Wooden picking one off in the end zone that led the Dolphins back down the field. 2nd down and 3 at the 25-yard line. Waters gunning for the 1st down. So Waters has run the ball now 13 times for 98 yards. He ran 110 yards, 27 carries last week, his 3rd 100-yard rushing game of the season, and headed to number 4. It will be a 3rd and a half yard. Third down and about a half a yard. The tight end Jimmy Johnson in motion. Waters. Good job by the Dolphins. We'll have to see where they spot the ball. Shane Burton making that stop. And they're calling for the yardsticks. I mentioned the name Jimmy Johnson, the other Jimmy Johnson, a member of the Philadelphia Eagles wearing number 88. He's a backup tight end in his 8th season out of Howard. Spent time with the Redskins, the Lions, the Chiefs, And now Philadelphia.
Starting to rain here. We've had rain up until game time, but nothing until just moments ago. You know, we talked to Ray Rhodes. He wanted to get Charlie Garner. We got the first down, continuing the drive for the Eagles, but wanted Charlie Garner to get more snaps in this particular ball game. But you get into the heat of a ball game and you've got a player that's playing well, as Ricky Watters is, you just don't seem to get it done. And Charlie Garner is ready, of course, wants to play, and he's waiting in the wings, and a good one.
One of the NFL's most explosive running backs, but cannot get the playing time. Detmer off the roll, completing. Chris T. Jones tackled by Zach Thomas. And for Jones, that's his third reception of the day.
Both sides are starting to move the quarterback around a little bit. Earlier in the game, they were just dropping back with good protection. Ty Detmer rolls to his right just a little bit. The receiver is just going to run. Chris T. Jones, he runs about 5 yards down the field, makes a sharp plant, turns to the outside. The ball is thrown on time. 6'3", 209 yards. They really think this guy has a bright future, only in his 209 pounds, but only in his second year. A lot to learn, but he's got all the tools.
Well, we talked with him the other day. He says he knows he is very raw. It is a first down picked up by the Eagles. But Chris T. Jones, after showing much promise last season, is getting the playing opportunity. He says that Fred Barnett was so helpful last year. Irving Fryar has also helped him with technique this season. 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Here's Waters trying to cut back the other way, but could not. Met by number 38, the right corner, Calvin Jackson.
The corner's job there was what is called contain. He used to make sure that everything is funneled back inside. Quick force from his secondary position. He's got coverage responsibility, but as soon as the run shows, he comes up. And this is the safety, of course, down the corner. You're going to see Calvin coming from the outside. There he is. He's the last line. Force everything back inside or make the play yourself, as he did there.
2nd down and 9, and now Garner is on the field. He's split out to the right side. Complete to the tight end, Jason Dunn. Beautifully thrown pass. It's good for 25. Thomas and Wooden combined to make the stop. Jason Dunn, a 6'4" rookie, 2nd-round draft pick out of Eastern Kentucky.
They really think he's going to be a big-time player. Watching me practice Friday, I agree with him. This is the kind of throw that Ty Detmer made so many times at BYU. A nice touch throw over the middle. Jason Dunn coming from his right to his left, sitting, slowing down right in the hole in the zone.
And a first down for the Eagles at the Dolphin 35-yard line. And Waters is stopped back behind the line. He was stopped on the handoff. What a quick move by the right defensive tackle, Tim Bowens.
When Tim Bowens was taken, everybody in the league thought he could be one of the rising stars in the National Football League. This game has gone back and forth. You know, one side will have momentum and drive the length of the field for a long touchdown. The other side will then come back and do it. Back and forth as we get closer to the 4th quarter, though. That temptation with Dan Marino gets more and more with Jimmy Johnson.
2nd down and 11. And Detmer thrown deep. He has fire again. That's 4 for Irving Fryar. A 36-yard touchdown pass. And Irving tossing the ball to a fan in the crowd. Irving Fryar came into today with 1 touchdown. 4 more to make it 5 for the season for the one-time Miami Dolphins.
You know, in my opinion, they're using Ty Detmer just right. The short, quick throws and the long touch throws down the field. Those are the 2 things that he's able to do well. Ray Rhodes knows how to use his personnel.
28-11 with the point after by Gary Anderson. 7:22 left, 3rd quarter. All right, a moment ago was Ty Detmer and Irving Fryar hooking up for the 4th time this afternoon.
Ty Detmer throws this ball so beautifully, leaves it in the air a long time. The defense is really there when the ball is released, but they break hard across the field. As you see, Wooden can't quite get to Irving Fryar, and the ball just travels right over his head.
And indicates, as we know, that was his 4th touchdown reception. Irving spikes on the kick return, try to stiff arm his way, gets across the 35-yard line. Fryar with 7 catches, 109 yards, including 4 touchdowns.
Fryar lined up right here, and here's Sean Wooden. It's a 3-deep zone. Watch Wooden. His job is to drop to the middle. They got a 3-deep. The tight end is going to take the coverage out from the Sean Wooden's left side. Fryar just goes over the top.
And penalty flags come flying as Miami starts out 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Before the ball was snapped, false start by the offense, number 84, 5-yard penalty, it's still 1st down.
That is the tight end, Troy Drayton, called on the penalty.
Irving Fryar gets in behind, tight spiral. The rain is starting to come down right now. As long as the rain is just wet and we don't have wind and rain, it won't affect the passing game at all.
Wait a moment.
It doesn't freeze here.
Wet rain, Sam?
Wet rain and no wind.
I see.
Let me finish my sentence.
All right, Stanley Pritchard on the reception, stopped by Mark Woodard, and I think it's time that we step away on that one, Sam. Let's go to Greg Gumbel for an update.
All right, Marv in Indianapolis. A turnover gave New England this shot. Curtis Martin from a yard out easily scores to make it 17-6. It was that man, Marvin Harrison, who fumbled the punt away. And now the Patriots are in charge in the 3rd quarter, 17-6. Let's go back to Marv and Sam and the wet rain and everything else in Philly.
Back at the vet in Philadelphia, 2nd down and 19 at the 28-yard line, and the completion, a sliding catch, is made as Troy Vincent provides the coverage on Randall Hill, a 14-yard pickup. Getting back to the subject of Irving Fryar, the 4 touchdown receptions ties a Philadelphia Eagle franchise record. Ben Hawkins caught 4 against the Steelers in 1969, and Joe Carter, not to be confused with baseball's Joe Carter, in 1934 did it against Cincinnati. 3rd and 3 at the 44. The NFL record most touchdowns in a game is 5. And that is picked off. Or is it ruled incomplete? Let's see, did he short hop it? It is. Called incomplete. Michael Zordich diving for it, but it is a short hop. But it is 4th down coming up. And the punting unit checks in.
You know, my astute comment a moment ago, as long as the rain just stayed wet.
We understand.
Yeah, when I was driving, of course, if the wind's not a factor, the wet doesn't usually interfere with the passing game, except right there. The ball just looked like it flew out of Craig Erickson's hand. He was trying to throw a little touch pass over the middle, and the ball kind of squirted on him.
There was no need to explain.
Well, I have to now because you've embarrassed me in front of the rest of the country.
A 4th down and 3, and here's the punt by Kidd to Say. Mark Say with a penalty marker down, getting out to the 17-yard line. Hit by Frank Wainwright, 45-yard punt and a 6-yard return, but there is a flag.
If this happened prior to the kick, it's going to give Miami a 1st down. They're indicating holding against the Eagles.
Holding by the receiving team during the kick. The foul was on number 40. 10-yard penalty enforced from the end of the kick. Miami keeps the ball, 1st down. Correction. Philadelphia, the receiving team, keeps the ball, 1st down.
Had it happened prior to the kick, there would have been a penalty in favor and given him the 1st down. But after the kick, it's on the end of the play.
Welcome back to Philadelphia, where that wet rain continues to fall. I won't mention it again.
It's not going away in my lifetime. Is that basically what we're looking at?
5:34 remaining in the 3rd quarter. The Philadelphia Eagles with a 28-11 lead on the Miami Dolphins. Off the penalty, the Eagles starting out from the 6, and you see the movement. Tim Bowen's making the move across the line for the Dolphins.
Before the ball was snapped, encroachment by the defense, number 95. 5-yard penalty. It remains first down.
So that was Bowen's. Well, this November, a 747 is carrying the world's deadliest virus.
It could kill half the humans on Earth.
You're going to shoot down that plane in less than an hour.
We can't let that happen. Say a prayer for those people tonight.
Coming to NBC November 10th, Pandora's Clock. Well, here's Charlie Garner getting an opportunity. And has the first down run out by Terrell Buckley.
Ray Rhodes wanted to get Charlie Garner in the ball game, and he almost broke containment that time. We talked about containment on the other side a moment ago. Charlie Garner is the kind of running back that's fast enough, quick enough to dip inside, bait everybody in, and then bounce outside and just flat out run the contain. You see Kevin Turner making the initial block inside and then bouncing outside. Terrell Buckley, though, good speed, good game.
The Eagles 1st and 10 from the 19-yard line. And it's Garner again. Tried to accelerate, but bottled up. Charlie Garner, only 5'9", 187 pounds in his third season out of Tennessee. Has seen only limited action, ran only twice last week against the Giants for 16 yards. Had a 39-yard reverse called back, though, due to a holding penalty.
I think Ray Rhodes is aware of the fact that you've got to get players like that in the ball game just to keep them in the season, because if anything were to happen with Waters, he'd be the main guy.
Well, he averaged better than 5 yards per carry last season. 2nd down and 5 and a whiff. Ty Detmer coming up empty, and it is ruled an incomplete pass.
Boy, those are hard calls to make. The officials got to decide, is the motion going forward when the ball came loose? Is it going to, Hockley going to give us, he's not going to give us interpretation. He's just signaling 3rd down. The ball is slick enough, apparently. Really what happens with a football like this is it's fairly dry, except on where the thumb rests on the ball is where the ball rests on the ground. And so that one part of the ball is wet, and your thumb doesn't hold it in place. But there was motion going forward before that ball came out.
And it was ruled an incomplete forward pass. A 3rd down and 5 at the 24-yard line. And Garner trying to pick his way. He's short of the 1st down. Met by Norman Hand.
You know, sometimes, Marv, the center, as he adjusts the ball just prior to the snap, will actually wet the ball even more. He'll push it down into the ground a little bit when you got some surface water like that. And then the ball comes up feeling dry to the quarterback, but that one place on the ball opposite the laces is wet, and you have accidents like that.
Well, here's Tom Hutton. Did not have a particularly good day last week against the Giants. Had the 56-yarder in his first punt. Handles the high snap, and line drives it. McDuffie lets it roll out of bounds.
They're going to get James Fuller for holding on that one. And Jimmy Johnson is probably going to be saying it's a little bit late to be seeing some of these holding calls. Very unhappy on their touchdown in the first half.
40-yard punt by Hutton, but here is the interpretation on the call against Fuller.
And the officials always talk these over to be sure.
By the kicking team, number 22. 10-yard penalty, repeat 4th down.
Sometimes I wonder why they have to go and talk it out, but really the reason is there could be more happening than just what one official saw. There could be another circumstance or maybe another penalty. But right up at the top of the screen, here you see Fuller. William Fuller reaches out. He's beaten rather than allow the block. James Fuller tackles the rusher, and Ed Hockley caught it.
James Fuller at his 3rd NFL season out of Portland State, a one-time Charger and Saint. So Hutton once again, this time from inside his 5.
Dolphins had the rush on.
And Duffy decided to let it go, and it takes a good eagle bounce inside the 25, but again a flag is thrown. Well, if this one holds, it's a 57-yard punt.
Looks good in the paper the next day. Didn't really travel 57, but if you're not sure you can handle the ball, it's best to pull away. And the discussion again to make sure that the call is clear. Ray Rhodes all the way out on the field to examine this one. Jimmy Johnson, of course, just as interested.
And the call against Miami, he can only go so far. That's as far as the cord will allow.
53. Foul was during the kick. It's enforced from the end of the kick. First down.
So the call against Miami, the good punt by Hutton will hold up, and we will take a break. Well, today the MetLife blimp cruising the skies above Veterans Stadium, powered by twin engines that are capable of reaching speeds greater than 57 miles per hour. Snoopy 1 can navigate at altitudes in excess of 6,000 feet. A look from above Veterans Stadium here in Philadelphia. We welcome you back. Marv Albert with Sam Wyche. 3:12 remaining in the third quarter, and the Eagles with a 28-11 lead on the Dolphins. Miami back to the offense. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar trying to accelerate, met by Zordich and Dawkins. What a day for the strong safety Michael Zordich. 10 tackles, nearly picked one off on that last series. And Ray Farmer, who we mentioned was injured earlier, is definitely out the rest of the way. A pinched nerve in his right arm. So Mark Woodard is in there as the outside linebacker. A 2nd and 2 at the 21-yard line. And again, Abdul-Jabbar able to break free for the first down. Gets up across the 30-yard line. Zordich and the right corner Taylor make the stop.
That's 2 plays in a row that the Miami Dolphins have come out with 2 tight ends and 2 wide receivers. 1 wide receiver and 1 tight end to each side of the ball. The quarterback, Craig Erickson, comes up and he's going to make the audible at the line of scrimmage. Just call it check with me. They're either going to run to the right or the left. Well, what you've got is a balanced situation where there's a tight end and a flanker to both sides. The quarterback then calls the play to the best side.
Well, Kareem has picked it up today with 16 carries, 60 yards, a first down at the 33. Erickson, incomplete. Pass intended for the fullback, Stanley Pritchett, who was covered by middle linebacker James Willis.
That is what is known as a coverage almost sack. They didn't get to him, but he stood there a long time looking for somebody to get open, went to his secondary and third receiver, couldn't find him. But as we look down the field, Fred Barnett was wide open, upset that he didn't get the ball. There I am. I always told my guys, quietly get back to the huddle. Remember, they're looking upstairs. They're gonna cover you next time.
A 2nd and 10 from the 33. Erickson trying to protect the ball, and he's taken down for the 3rd time. Eagles were looking for a strip. He was able to tuck it in, but he could not get the throw off. Greg Jefferson, a 2nd-year player from Central Florida, 3rd-round pick a year ago, has come up with his first sack of the day.
And as Dan Marino watches Craig Erickson looking and searching and holding the ball, nothing seeming to happen for him downfield, it has to be going through his mind as well as Jimmy Johnson as the 4th quarter approaches. Should he play in this ball game? 28-11, can he get him back in the game?
3rd and 13. Erickson stepping up, throwing on the run, and he completes it. What a play as Fred Barnett comes up with his first catch of the season. Bobby Taylor made the stop. It's a 21-yard hookup. Barnett A man who has made a dramatic recovery back from the reconstructive surgery on his right knee. He's been spotted throughout the game, and this is his first reception of the day.
Craig Erickson has really done a good job of keeping the head and eyes down the field. He was almost beyond the line of scrimmage on that particular scramble, and the receivers are working to get open. You know, sometimes sticking your hand up like that actually helps. Our quarterback can find you down the field.
First down at the Eagle 47 with this third quarter running down. Again, the completion, McDuffie. And he has another Miami first down. Mark Woodard, Michael Zordich combined on the stop. And for O.J. McDuffie, his fourth catch of the day.
That was excellent vision by Craig Erickson. He wanted to throw the ball to Stan Pritchard in the flat. As he looked out there, he spotted McDuffie inside and just popped in the shorter pass. Always take the shortest throw because the ball's in the air, shorter period of time. It gives the receiver a time to run after the catch.
And apparently just shy of the first down. It'll be second in inches as this third quarter comes to a close.
Presented by the authority of the National Football League and is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the NFL is prohibited.
Now that we're in the fourth quarter, if Dan Marino enters the ball game and things aren't going right, maybe his ankle's bothering him or whatever, Craig Erickson or Bernie Kosar could come back in the ball game. They're going to leave Erickson in to see if he can score right now.
So the fourth quarter underway. And Erickson throwing for the end zone. A pass intended for O.J. McDuffie, and Troy Vincent nearly picked it off against his former team.
Second down and short. Good time to go down the field. You've got the third down to come back and make the first down. Just straight post pattern. You run straight down the field and break to the goal post. That's where the name came from. Defense is right there. Troy Vincent almost intercepted that one. He actually was in better position as it turned out.
Third and inches. Eagles 28 and the Dolphins 11. And Abdul-Jabbar, who has run well, has the first down inside the 30. Zordich and Dawkins again make the stop.
Richmond Webb, the lead blocker on this one. Ball coming off the left side. Third down and short. Abdul-Jabbar. Wide open hole all the way to Dawkins and Zordich. Now the strip. Now the first down's made. The only thing they can do now. Now watch right here. Richmond Webb. That's what you call a pancake right there.
Ninth play of the drive. First down at the Eagle 29. Ball fake. Erickson looked like he was setting up the screen. He did. A flag thrown. The completion for McDuffie, who has the first down. Bobby Taylor on the tackle. A 14-yard hookup if it does remain.
From where the flag is thrown, and somebody probably lined up. No, they're going to call holding against the defense. Must have been right off the line of scrimmage. One of the defensive players. That was not really a screen. The ball was thrown down the field on a crossing pattern.
Holding by the defense, number 36. The penalty is refused. Result of the play is a first down.
That's the strong safety, Michael Zordich, 10-year veteran out of Penn State. And it is a first down at the 15-yard line.
The reason that had the look of a screen is the defensive line was in on Craig Erickson so fast. That's normally what you try to do when you throw the screen, let them loose. I think they just had a good rush, and Craig Erickson made a play.
81 McDuffie in motion. Abdul-Jabbar again hit back behind the line. James Willis with the tackle. Willis has played well once again here this afternoon. He is the Eagles' leading tackler. Last week he had 10 against the Giants. Ray Rhodes said it was Willis's best game of his NFL career.
I think he's playing pretty sudden myself.
Yes.
A lot of some of the comments were that he sudden, meaning of course that he wasn't making quick decisions, but he sure is today.
At a loss of 3. The tackle by Willis, second down and 13 at the 18-yard line. Abdul-Jabbar getting inside the 15, then pushed back. Kevin Johnson, Hollis Thomas involved on the stop. Coming into today, Miami at 4-2 in a second-place tie with Buffalo. A game behind first place Indianapolis. Colts at 5-1. New England well in front of the Colts. In the fourth quarter, Buffalo playing the Jets in the Meadowlands. Later on, third down and 9 at the 14-yard line. 12 and a half to go. Fourth quarter. Again out of the shotgun. Erickson now running. Flag is down, and he slides inside the 5-yard line. A penalty marker is tossed.
This is going to be an interesting spot. It's holding again, so it's not going to matter. But Craig Erickson started his slide at the first down marker. They marked it just about at the marker.
Holding by the offense, number 69. 10-yard penalty, repeat third down.
So it won't come into play now, but the point is that if you concede the tackle, they mark where you initially concede the tackle, not where you slide. It's not where your first touch. And Craig Erickson almost didn't get the first down, but the hole would have brought it back anyway, and they're going to have to go after it. Now, right here, be careful. If they can get 3 points, it will make the score a 2-touchdown difference. And the Dolphins are still in pretty good position. But what they don't want to do is come away with nothing on this drive.
That hold against the left guard, Keith Sims. It is a 3rd and 19. Erickson for the end zone, touchdown! O.J. McDuffie. And the Dolphins are right back in it. McDuffie beating the combination of Dawkins and Wilburn. 6th catch of the day for McDuffie.
What a beautiful pass and a big play at the important time. Look at the eyes. He's searching down the field. Now, he is not looking at receivers. He's looking at defenses. He's trying to see where the hole's going to be. That one is just between about 3 Philadelphia Eagle defenders and is going to turn out to be a very big 4-point spread right there. Field goal versus a touchdown.
And the point after by Nedney. 24-yard touchdown pass. So the score, the Eagles 28, Dolphins 18. A light rain still falling here in Philadelphia. This is only the 9th time the Eagles and Dolphins have met. Dolphins have won 6 of the last 8. They've won the last 5. Coming back into this one, now trailing 28-18. Here's Derek Witherspoon on the kick return. Able to break a tackle and run out, but a flag is down. Chris Singleton ran him out of bounds. Well, Miami 12 plays, 87 yards, 6 minutes and 5 seconds, capped off by that Erickson touchdown pass to McDuffie. And Witherspoon is shaken up.
Holding by the receiving team during the return, number 52, 10-yard penalty, first down.
And the call against Sylvester Wright.
Moments ago, the touchdown throw from Craig Erickson. Look at Barry Wilburn, Zordich, everybody right between 3 defenders and the linebacker. Of course, William Thomas also dropping back in there. That was a big play. They needed to come away with points. Even a field goal would have left them within 2 scores. But now they need a touchdown and a field goal, or better, to keep them in this ball game. Dan Marino on the sideline. Watch the reaction. Heck yeah.
I believe that is what he said.
That's what he said.
And Craig Erickson able to hang in, having a good day. 17 of 28, 234 yards, 2 touchdowns, picked off once. For Ty Detmer, easily the best game of his NFL career. Hands it off to Kevin Turner, the fullback, with a rare carry, his first of the day, only the 11th of the season. He was met by Tim Bowens.
And the Eagles are in the same formation that the Dolphins were in just moments ago. A tight end on both sides and a flanker on both sides. It balances the defense and also gives you 2 strong sides, left and right, because you have a tight end on both left and right side.
2nd and 9 at the 12-yard line with 11:25 remaining in the fourth quarter. Detmer trying to set the screen, and it is incomplete. Intended for Waters, and again a flag.
They're indicating holding. When you get a hold like that, that could be against the defense, and it is. Not allowing the receiver to get out. Now, you can grab behind the line of scrimmage like that if he was not downfield, because you don't know if he's a blocker or a receiver.
Holding by the defense, number 92. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
That is the rookie from Baylor, Darrell Gardner, number 92, called for the hold.
See him coming to the screen now. Right here is the hold. He's got his hand and grabbing. Will not allow Ricky Waters out of the backfield. Good call by the official.
And a first down at the 17-yard line. Started out as a draw. Waters took it to the outside and gets up to the 19, met by Terrell Buckley. White Hollier coming up next on most of these NBC stations. Game 2 of our doubleheader. Most of you will see the Broncos and the Ravens. Others will see the Bengals take on the 49ers, or the Steelers go up against the Oilers. Or regional action. Check your local listings for the game in your area. Second down and 8 at the 19-yard line. Redskins well in front of the Giants, and Dallas and Atlanta now all tied up in that race in the NFC East. The completion to Irving Fryer, who has had a sensational day. Zach Thomas making the stop. 8 catches, 116 yards, 4 touchdowns for Fryer. It is just short of the first down. Also, here's a schedule note to Kansas City Chiefs and Minnesota Vikings fans who are watching today's game. The game between these two teams on November 3rd has been changed to the late time period. That's 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Central. And, of course, you'll see it right here on NBC. 3rd and a half yard. Detmer off the roll. Could not find anybody and has to eat the football. Chased by Daniel Stubbs.
Big play for the Miami Dolphins. That was 3rd down and a yard. Instead of trying to smash mouth right up the middle and make their yardage, they went with the rollout and holding them right there after just marching and scoring a touchdown, giving them what should be pretty good field position, a chance to get right back in this ball game.
Set it back to a 4th down and 4 at the 23. You see O.J. McDuffie getting ready to handle the punt from Tom Hutton. Hutton is back at his 7-yard line.
They stopped the clock there because they call that a sack, and until the ball is spotted, the clock is stopped.
And that goes down as the first sack of the day on Detmer for Stubbs' 6th of the year.
Short punt.
Oh, and McDuffie trying to make the catch was interfered with. Run into.
These are the kind of breaks that you can't afford to give a team in the 4th quarter when they are making their momentum change on you. It was unintentional. The punt was short. McDuffie was coming up. The kill guy, or the chase guy as they're called, the first man down on the punt, never saw it happening, and the troubles that the Philadelphia Eagles have had with their special teams have popped their head up again.
Looked like Adam Walker, the backup fullback and a special teams guy, was involved. Here is the call.
Interference with the opportunity, catch the kick by the kicking team, number 29. 15-yard penalty, first down.
And that is Adam Walker in a conversation with special teams coach Danny Smith. And that's a costly penalty. Timeout taken. We'll be right back. 28 remaining in the 4th quarter. Marv Albert, Sam Wyche from Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. Off the penalty on Adam Walker in the punt return. The Miami Dolphins back to the offense starting at the Philadelphia 43, and Abdul-Jabbar stopped by Michael Zorich.
O.J. McDuffie making the fair catch signal. Adam Walker really just out of position, didn't see what happened. Interfere with O.J.'s chance to make the catch. And Danny Smith, the special teams coach, he's looking at it, chewing the gum, of course, as is his custom. But watch right here. just at the end of it, in his back pocket, he's got a bunch of pictures that have been taken during the course of the ball game. He pulls them out, which is a nice little retreat when you're really not sure what to do at that point.
Feeling that perhaps the photos might show something different.
Yeah, but those are pictures taken earlier in the game. They wouldn't help him out.
All right, off the second down and 7. Craig Erickson able to slide his way for a first down. He picked up 13. Craig Erickson, originally drafted by the Eagles 5 years ago, signed as a free agent, spent 3 years with Tampa Bay, Sam. And last season, he was with the Indianapolis Colts as the backup quarterback.
We took him in the 4th round of the second draft. He didn't sign a contract with the Eagles when he was drafted in the 4th round, and we got him in the next draft in the 4th.
All right, Abdul-Jabbar with a good second effort. Eagles thought they had him down. Zordich and Thomas combined to make the stop. So 21 carries, 79 yards for Abdul-Jabbar. Atlanta Falcons coming from behind to tie the Dallas Cowboys. New England, solid performance against the Indianapolis Colts. Giants coming from behind. Washington now leading 28-21. Redskins at 5-1, 5 straight wins. Philadelphia comes in 4-2. Dallas at 3-3. Second down and 2. Erickson off the roll. Erickson throwing, and it is incomplete. Pass intended for O.J. McDuffie. It brings up a 3rd and 2 at the 20.
Craig Erickson has been very good on 3rd down. He's 8 for 12 on 3rd downs for 145 yards, a touchdown, and 1 interception. And, of course, on his last drive, a 3rd down and 19, drew a 24-yard touchdown pass.
Now McDuffie is to the left. And Barnett, who has made his return here today, flanked to the right. Abdul-Jabbar not able to pick up the first down. Met by Hall and Dixon.
Joe Nedney's going to come in and kick the field goal. They're down by 10, 3 points here. You'd like to have scored a touchdown, obviously, so that your final drive as you close out the game, you're only looking for 3 points instead of the touchdown. But you have to take it right here. 4th down and about 3.5 yards. Come away with something.
And nothing is certain with Nedney, although he did hit earlier from 37. This is a 39-yard attempt. He is 7 for 12 for the season. Can cut it to a 7-point, a high snap. Nedney's kick. It is good. So Nedney is hit on 2 for 2. And the Eagles now lead by 7. 6:56 remaining in the 4th quarter. Nedney with the kick. He has been very solid. It's taken by Garner playing for Derek Witherspoon, who was injured on the last kick return. And Garner is submarine down at the 25-yard line. The hit made by Tim Jacobs. Well, a reminder tonight on Dateline. What do Americans really want in a president? JFK Jr. and George Magazine joined forces with Dateline to find the ideal candidate. Who is he? You may not know him, but our polls say you want him. Watch Dateline Sunday. That's later tonight right here on NBC. The Eagles starting out at the 26-yard line. And Detmer with the handoff. Charlie Waters, I should say Ricky Waters. And he's stopped by Chris Singleton and Sean Wooden. And Waters, running in that unique style up high, was able to run well and move the chains.
Again, with that balanced formation just off the right side. The Philadelphia Eagles have 125 yards before that play rushing, but they had 94 of those yards in the first half. It's crucial right now that running game come back because they want to eat the clock up with just over 6 minutes to go in the game and a 7-point lead.
And a first down at the 37-yard line. Waters 113 yards on the ground. And again, Waters, this time just a couple, met by Tim Bowens.
Right now, Marv, the defense is they're concentrating on stripping the ball all the time. But right now is when that could, of course, turn the ball game around. You remember in the offseason, the Players Association actually complained that the Dolphins were having too physical workouts in the mini camps. And what they were doing were practicing the strip of the ball to steal it away and get turnovers. They are plus 12 coming into this ball game.
2nd and 9 at the 38. Again, Waters. And again, just a yard. Daniel Stubbs and Tim Bowens combining on the stop.
Stubbs and Bowens are big defensive linemen there to stop the run. Ricky Waters, as he gets in there, there's really nothing happening. He's got to just kind of measure himself a little bit. And anytime you're waiting behind the line of scrimmage, everybody's coming to you.
3rd and 8 at the 39. The lone deep back is Waters. And Detmer finds Waters, but he's hit from behind. A big play by Zach Thomas, who was able to prevent Waters picking up the first down.
What a player. This is a young rookie that the Philadelphia Eagles incidentally could have drafted, but they took Quint Marshall out of Georgia instead. Here he goes after Ricky Waters, the tackle, even after the catch, but it wasn't enough for the first down, bringing up the punting situation.
So Tom Hutton will punt to O.J. McDuffie. Down to 4 minutes remaining in the 4th quarter. Eagles lead by 7. And Hutton just did get it off. McDuffie lets it bounce. And it takes an Eagle hop inside the 15. And it rolls inside the 10-yard line. And it will go down as a 50-yard punt by Hutton. Miami back to the offense when we come back. Well, Sam, Dan Marino beginning to loosen up. 31 fourth quarter comebacks, 13 on the road. Craig Erickson has done a nice job, though. 17 of 29, 236 yards. But it could be a decision for Jimmy Johnson with 3:43 remaining. Look out, Erickson in trouble. Fires one downfield, just looked to throw it away and had to really rifle it. Randall Hill was in the area, but that time he was trying to prevent a safety and just wanted to get the ball away from the Eagle defenders.
Token fake, the terminology used in the league is a waggle pass or a bootleg to the right, and then the throw down the middle. You don't throw that ball if there's a free safety in the middle. I don't think Craig Erickson knew if it was or not. He just overthrew everybody.
The Eagle defensive players looking to pump the crowd up, waving their arms. It is a 2nd and 10 back at the 8-yard line. Eagles lead by 7 points, 28-21. Erickson is taken down, but a penalty marker is thrown.
And Jimmy Johnson may be complaining that Mike Mamula got a jump on the snap count and maybe was offsides. He was sure quick around the tackle.
But the holding call against the Dolphins. The ball is just inside the 1.
Be against Richmond Webb if they call holding against Mike Mamula, against Mike Mamula. Richmond Webb doing the holding.
Holding by the offense. The penalty is declined. Brings up 3rd down.
The reason they declined that penalty is that they used a down up, of course, and they sacked the quarterback on about the 1-yard line. Just got a great start on the snap count and was around Richmond Webb before he could get out of his stance.
The Eagles with their 4th sack of the day. It's a 3rd down and 17. Erickson getting the protection. Oh, what a hit. Mark Woodard making contact with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And now the Dolphins will have to punt out of their end zone.
Craig Erickson had been very good on 3rd down. Didn't have anything down the field. Laid the ball off. Woodard makes the big hit. His job is to be the 3rd down linebacker. He's in there all the time. Been playing now because of the injury to Ray Farmer. Let's see if, and it looks like they are. The Philadelphia Eagles are going to go after this. They're going to make him punt the ball quick and try to get a low kick if he gets it off for a good return.
And John Kidd in the back of his end zone. Marseille awaiting the punt.
They fake the rush.
And here's Say. Good coverage by the Dolphins. O.J. Brigance on the stop. 49-yard punt, 3-yard return. 2:38 remaining in this fourth quarter. Eagles lead 28-21. And what do you think, Sam, if Miami gets it back with a chance? Do we see Dan Marino?
I'd like to know if Jimmy Johnson knows Dan Marino's warming up.
Yes.
If he does know that, then obviously he's warming up for a reason, and that is that this is the exact situation that you would use him. Closing moment of the game by the time he gets the ball, and the passing arm of Dan Marino, your best chance to get back into this ball game, as well as Craig Erickson has played. Here's your moment for Dan Marino.
But the Eagles obviously want to hold on to that football the rest of the way. Here's Waters breaking through inside the 30, inside the 20. Waters, touchdown!
We won't see Marino now.
A 49-yard touchdown. 164 yards on the ground for Ricky Waters. 21 carries, 164 yards, and the Eagles extend to a 34-21 lead.
Look at the determination on Ricky Waters as he comes off the field. He left the 49ers wanting to be the man here in Philadelphia. The guy that can make a difference and put him into contention for a Super Bowl and playoffs year after year. Those are the kind of runs that do it.
And now the attempt for the extra point is Gary Anderson. So with 2:28 remaining in the fourth quarter, the Eagles now lead 35-21.
This run initially was to eat up the clock. Just make sure we keep possession. Suddenly the hole broke loose and off to the races. A lot of speed for a big man. Just a giant hole. Really the first half-hearted effort I've seen Zach Thomas make. It looked like he just didn't have his feet under him to make a change of direction to make the tackle. It was his responsibility to make that play at the line.
And for Ricky Waters, that is a career high 164 yards. His fourth 100-plus game of the season. 21 carries, 164 plus the touchdown. The previous 4 touchdowns, Detmer combining with Fryer.
And the Eagles were 7-0 when he had 100 yards or more. Looks like they're going to go to 8-0 with Ricky Waters in that 100-plus category as a rusher.
A kick by Anderson. Jarris McPhail with the return following Irving Spikes. Getting to the outside, putting the speed on, and then taken out of bounds. And flags come flying. Brian Dawkins making the stop. Might have been a face mask. We're down to 2 minutes and 16 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. Each team with 3 timeouts remaining.
Personal foul, face mask by the kicking team, number 20. 15-yard penalty, first down.
And that's the man who made the tackle, Brian Dawkins. And it appears that Bernie Kosar will come on. So it will not be Dan Marino, although if it were a 7-point game, it was taking on the look of Marino making the appearance.
I wonder exactly what this discussion is right now. Craig Erickson it looks to me, is asking, why am I coming out of the ball game, coach? Especially if you're not going to put Dan Marino in, why not leave me in the ball game? I'm warm. Bernie Kosar is not.
And Kozar looking to dump it off. It'll be a 2nd down and 13. Here's the 2-minute warning. Eagles 35 and the Dolphins 21. We'll be back in a moment.
The ball game by Craig Erickson. A lot of big plays in this ball game. They're going with Bernie Kosar right now, and really a moment ago we saw them talking, Jimmy Johnson and Craig Erickson. They were not arguing. It wasn't a June Jones, Jeff George situation. They were just explaining the issue to each other.
2nd and 13, and Kozar with a sideline pattern. Don Griffin on the coverage of Fred Barnett. Well, today the MetLife Blimp Snoopy 1 teaming up with NBC, providing an aerial view of Veterans Stadium. MetLife Blimp high above the Vet. 3rd down and 9 at the 41-yard line. And Kozar with the time was able to avoid the sack and then goes incomplete, intended for Jarris McPhail, covered by William Thomas. How about Atlanta? They are now in front of Dallas 28-25 in the 4th quarter. Next week the Dolphins are home for Dallas. That may catch the attention of Jimmy Johnson, although he says that it is he more involved rather than his players. He thinks the Cowboy players, though, will have a different perspective on it.
I think he's exactly right. Anytime your team's getting ready for a game, as much as people ask you about future games, you're getting ready for this ball game. Philadelphia Eagles in this case right now. But Jimmy Johnson, I know, is as this game ends, he'll be looking for a very strong performance next week. And the Dolphins, though, aren't giving this one in yet. There's still a little bit of time left with Bernie Kosar completing that one out of the backfield to Jarris McPhail.
It's good for 11 yards. Down to a minute and a half remaining in the 4th quarter. The Eagles next week are home for Carolina. They have played 4 of their first 6 games on the road. And Kozar finding McPhail again, works his way inside the 20. Stopped by Wilburn. The Dolphins to the line in a hurry. The clock is running. And now Miami takes a timeout with 1:11 to go in the 4th quarter. The Miami Dolphins won their first 3 games, beating New England, Arizona, and the Jets. Then they lost at Indianapolis, lost at home to Seattle in the rain, and beat Buffalo last week. The Buffalo win an enormous victory, but a loss today, and 3 of the last 4 in the loss column for the Philadelphia Eagles. They make it a record of 5-2. And coming into today, game behind the Washington Redskins, who are in front of the New York Giants. Eagles with wins over Washington, Detroit, Atlanta, and the Giants. Here's Kozar and completes it to O.J. McDuffie, and he's in for the touchdown. And this one is not over with 1:04 remaining.
Not at all. And you're going to see Danny Smith on the Philadelphia Eagles sideline getting the hands team ready, because the next play after this extra point will be an onside kick.
So Bernie Kozar off the bench for Craig Erickson. And he has been able to engineer this touchdown drive, a 17-yard pass play. Kozar 5 of 6, 43 yards on the drive. Now Nedney with the extra point. So the Eagles with a 7-point lead, 35-28, 1:04 to go.
The Dolphins have 3 good quarterbacks. Craig Erickson's played well. Bernie Kozar comes in and orchestrates a drive to score late in the ball game, right down the chute. Pretty good coverage down the middle, and O.J. McDuffie makes the second effort to get in. The ball has to cross the plane, and that's all, and that's what he reaches for. Watch right here, touchdown. Running across the field, but then turning up as soon as he can. And when he sees the line, reaching out. If the ball crosses before any other part of his body, his knee or hip or anything else touches, it's a touchdown. Now with a 7-point difference, the onside kick. Both teams huddle on their respective sideline to talk this one out. They practice this all the time, but never full speed. You can't do this one full speed until you get into a game.
O.J. McDuffie with his second touchdown reception of the day. 7 catches, 121 yards. He has 3 TDs for the season. There have been some outstanding individual efforts today. Detmer 18 of 24. He's thrown for 4. O.J. McDuffie, you see the numbers there. Ricky Waters.
Marv, I think part of the reason that Bernie went in there, he's been around this offense in the 2-minute situation longer, probably a better chance to move the team for him.
And the onside kick, it is handled by Mark Say. So the Eagles able to cover up.
The onside kick is always a touchy deal. For one reason I mentioned earlier, you can't practice this one full speed anywhere except at a game because of the chance of injury. But Danny Smith, wanted this one to go their way, Philadelphia's way. He's been under a little bit of fire, and Ray Rhodes pointed out to us, as we mentioned earlier, that he was just answering in response to a question. He wasn't singling him out as a reason for anything on the field. 2 timeouts for the Miami Dolphins. They'll have to use them on the first and second down.
As I was mentioning, Waters 164 yards on 21 carries. Irving Fryer 4 touchdown receptions against his former team. Waters trying the right side, and the clock has stopped. Miami calling for time. Well, coming up next on most of these NBC stations, it'll be game 2 of our NFL doubleheader. Most of you will see the Denver Broncos hosting the Baltimore Ravens. Others will see the Bengals and the 49ers, or the Steelers go up against the Oilers, or regional action. Check your local listings for the game in your area. Miami with 1 timeout remaining. Philadelphia has 3. 59 seconds to go in this 4th quarter, and the Eagles leading the Dolphins 35-28.
This was going to come down to a 4th down play. The timeout will be called immediately following this one, putting the ball at about 52 or 53 seconds.
And Waters hit back behind the line. Zach Thomas with the tackle.
Quick hit left him with 54 seconds now and no timeouts.
Well, Dallas has moved back in front of Atlanta, and New England in front of Indianapolis. Washington about to wrap up the Giants. Final seconds of the 4th quarter. Carolina over New Orleans. So the Carolina Panthers go to 5-2. That's the final timeout taken by the Dolphins when we resume a 3rd down and 9 at the 41-yard line with 54 seconds remaining.
What will happen here is that the clock will continue to run. When the tackle is made, there'll be about 49 seconds maybe left to go with a 40-second clock.
Waters trying to pick his way and stopped by Norman Hand. Sam, thinking back, your many years coaching in Cincinnati and Tampa Bay, do you ever lose one like this?
Absolutely.
Being the
hardest loss I ever had.
Talk about from the Eagle point of view, blowing it.
Oh, well, the famous one, of course, is the Pasargic handoff, the New York Giants making the handoff and mishandling it and losing to the Philadelphia Eagles. And I'm sure that they are talking right now, carefully talking this one over to make sure this one's handled just right. 16-15, as it counts down, the differential is going to be about 6 seconds. If they run a play and they don't get anything out of it, there will be like 1 play left for the Miami Dolphins. They can putt the ball high, the ball will be in the air long enough, probably in the game. Run the risk, of course, of a blocked punt.
So the delay of game is taken, and the clock is stopped with 6 seconds remaining. Miami out of timeouts, and they mark it off. The ball is spotted at the 42-yard line.
The key to this play is everybody do your job. Make sure that if you're going to run the ball and probably be some kind of a sweep to eat up some time, everybody block and hold on to your blocks.
And they give it to Waters, and that will wrap it. So the Philadelphia Eagles, with a 35-28 victory over the Miami Dolphins. Eagles go to 5-2. They remain a full game behind the Redskins. And the Dolphins 4-3 with Dallas coming up next week. Coming up next on most of these NBC stations, Game 2 of our doubleheader.